Way back in 2000, in a land near and close to our hearts called Washington, D.C., there lived a group of brave community organizers and union leaders who saw the need for a long-term, transparent, accountable, trust-building coalition that would unite our diverse communities to address the existence of low-wage jobs without benefits. Over our nearly 15-year history, DC Jobs of Justice has worked with a broad range of residents, taxpayers, workers, and consumers to build power and win real improvements for working families and to reverse the fact that DC has the third highest income inequality in the nation. So from 2000 to 2002, in our beginning, DC Jobs of Justice worked with parking attendants to form a union with Unite Here, then Local 27, to organize our first workers' rights board, and we worked very closely with folks like Emilio Abate, Roxy Herbekian, Tracy Lingo, Chris Garlock, some of y'all know these names, I'm sure you do, and Jeb Ratemsky. We also played a leading role in coordinating the logistics for the April 16th IMF World Meetings after the big Seattle protests. And then when September 11th hit, lots of our local airline, hospitality, hotel, and tour bus drivers were laid off, and we coordinated with the Teamsters and folks like Roger Newell to demand that our city release the rainy day funds to make sure that our working families could, to help them get through that difficult time. And then we also began to work with the DC Employment Justice Center and some of our council members to combat wage theft that was occurring to guest workers who were contracted with our city's lawn restoration services. And that resulted in the first ever debarment of a contract that the city made for stealing money from actual workers. And this was the beginning of our thinking on our community's role in government accountability, our work on wage theft, and first source hiring in the district. And somewhere through all of this work, at this point, the leaders of the coalition raised enough money to hire our dearly beloved Mackenzie Barris as the first DC Jobs of Justice first organizer and director. Then from 2003 to 2006, we led the fight for inclusionary zoning for housing development in the district, a policy saying that basically all housing in the district has to have a part of its market priced affordably for low-income residents. We worked with ACORN, the Labor Council, JUFJ, CNHED, Neighbors Consejo, and One DC on this victory. During this time, we also worked closely with folks like Jaime Contreras and Martin Thomas, then of SEIU Local 82, on the Justice for Janitors campaign that won a big contract for all DC janitors to have expanded health care and wage increases. It was also during this period that we started organizing the community around the importance of grocery and the grocery and retail sector in our city. We helped the Safeway and Giant workers win better working conditions and benefits on the job, while also educating our communities about the potential takeover of our land and local retail economy by Walmart. It was in 2005 that DC Jobs of Justice, Ward 5 residents, the Shaw Education for Action Group, and UFCW Local 400 were able to keep Walmart out of our community with the first introduction of the Large Retailer Accountability Act. After that, up until about 2009, our coalition basically got deeper into the issues of paid sick days, wage theft, day labor organizing, living wages, and first source. We helped CWA 2336 and the International win the FIRES expansion campaign with the first source agreement and equalization of public phone services. Folks like Alya Solomon, Rick Powell, and Jim Pappas were key players in this fight. And we also partnered with Unite Here, the Domestic Violence Coalition, the LGBT community, and again, our longtime partners at the DC Employment Justice Center, who have been working on paid sick days and wage theft with a small committee of women workers for quite a long time to actually finally win paid sick days for most workers the first time in 2008. Our campaign to win a union with 1,500 SEIU 32BJ security officers at the time paired very nicely with that first paid sick days campaign because it was one of their needs as well. And of course, at that time is when we began working very closely with the day laborer population to actually analyze what happens when someone experiences wage theft and the recovery process that they have to go through, or sometimes don't get recovered. from 2009 until now, well, we've just gotten deeper and deeper into those same issues.